let's talk about the basic knowledge of annuities. I know just hearing the word might make some people want to take a nap, but stick with me. What if I told you that understanding annuities could mean the difference between sleeping peacefully at night in your retirement or staring at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning wondering if the market just wiped out half of my savings? Before we go any further, let's be clear. Annuities are not a good fit for everyone. If an advisor tells you that they are a good fit for everyone, just run like you just saw your ex at the grocery store and don't want to make awkward small talk. Also, if someone is throwing around fancy financial jargon like fiduciary risk assessment modeling and dynamic asset liability management, showing some flashing fancy graphs that are completely confusing, it's just a lame attempt to impress you, or worse, hide something from you. That's entertaining in David Copperfield's show on a Vegas stage, not in your retirement planning. I believe in explaining things so clearly that even a 5th grader could understand. Not because I think you need it dumbed down, but because I believe that simple and clear advice is what you deserve. Now let's tackle the biggest financial debate of all times. Some so-called experts yell, annuities are the worst thing ever. Never touch them. And others say annuities are the best financial invention since sliced bread. So who is right and who's wrong? Here's the truth. Both are right and both are wrong. I know that sounds like something your grandmother would say to keep the peace at Thanksgiving dinner, but hear me out. I use insulin because I am type 1 diabetic. It's a miracle drug for me. But what happens if you give insulin to someone who isn't diabetic? It could literally kill them. Does that make insulin bad? Of course not. It must be prescribed to the right person for the right reason. So annuities work the same way. When they're used correctly, they can provide guaranteed lifetime income, which means never outliving your savings. They also provide tax advantages so that when time comes to cut a slice for the IRS from your financial pie, you should be holding the knife, not Uncle Sam. And most importantly, they provide predictable results, not hypothetical like mutual funds. Because what's predictable brings peace of mind, and what's hypothetical brings stress. Peace of mind is the ultimate goal and it's priceless. But when annuities are sold to the wrong person, or worse, the wrong type of annuity is sold to the right person, it can feel like being stuck in a timeshare contract with no way out. Allow me to share some numbers because wise men say numbers don't lie. As of the end of 2024, American retirees were holding over $2.72 trillion in annuities. That's nearly $3 trillion with a T. That's not monopoly money. That's real money deposited by people that value safety, predictability, and guaranteed income for life. Even the ultra wealthy place part of their money in annuities for the same reasons. For example, Babe Ruth, the legendary baseball player, invested in annuities which safeguarded his retirement income even through the Great Depression. More recently, NBA star Shaquille O'Neal talked about how he was advised by an older, wealthier friend to invest in annuities so he wouldn't end up broke like a lot of professional athletes do. At a certain point in life, it's no longer about how much money you can make. It's about how much you can keep. Who are annuities for and who are they not for is simple. Annuities are great for people who realize that their retirement income faces 2 real threats. One, the next stock market crash. That could literally set you back many years. And number 2, the tax bomb. That ticking time bomb inside your pre-tax retirement accounts. On the other hand, if high risk and high reward is your personal motto, and you believe that paying a lot in taxes is patriotic, then annuities probably aren't for you. And that's okay. But before you dismiss annuities, remember that history tends to repeat itself. Let me take you on a quick trip back since the 1960s when I was born. In 1973 and 1974, nearly half of retirement savings disappeared. In 1978, on Black Monday, 22% of the market vanished in just one day. From 2000 to 2002, the dot-com bubble burst and markets crashed for 3 straight years. In 2001, the 9/11 attacks caused the biggest one-week drop in Dow history up to that point. In 2008, many people lost 50% or more of their retirement savings. And just recently in 21, the COVID-19 pandemic produced the largest single-day coin drop in U.S. stock market history. That amounts to a major crash about every 7.8 years over the last 50 years. At the same time, during my lifetime, ordinary income tax rates have been all over the place. 35%, 37%, 39.6%, 50%, even as high as 91% back in the 60s. Our current tax plan is set to expire at the end of 2025. Meanwhile, the national debt exceeds $36 trillion, and there are $35 trillion sitting in accounts like IRAs, 401ks, and 403bs. I hope that helps you guess whether future taxes on retirement income will be higher or lower. And whatever your answer is, that is your answer. I'm not going to try to convince you one way or another. All I can tell you is that I love what I do. I first introduced annuities to my clients back in 2004. And since then, there's been millions of dollars worth of retirement savings that have gone into annuities through our organization. However, the best time that I ever had was 2008, and then 2020, and then 21. You know why? Because every time stock market crashed, I never got a call from one of my clients that said, hey, half of my retirement savings just disappeared. And that gives me peace of mind. The information that I'm providing for you is not meant to excite or scare you. My hope is that you will ask yourself some good questions about your financial plan and be prepared to decide for yourself how much of your